Another day behind us, another box score watching ahead of us. Let's go through today's games and let's talk about what was the most interesting. Let's get right into it. The first game that was played today was the 76ers against the Spurs, and the Sixers start the season 0-3. And a lot of people are instantly calling out for, Doc Rivers' head, which is a very understandable because I feel like his time as a coach, as a great NBA coach, has gone by. And the start of the season is obviously not ideal, but I feel like it exposed the depth that the Sixers were supposed to have, even though they don't really have it. And the Spurs were well coached up. They made some tough shots. And, they need to trade Doug McDermott, in my opinion. That's the biggest thing they need to do, maybe even Josh Richardson. And just, get to the tanking. I mean, it's obviously good that they show fight. They start 2-1. It's fun to see them compete. It's good that most teams are trying to compete. But they should 100% get rid of Doug McDermott and Josh Richardson as soon as possible. As for the Sixers, well, let's talk about the depth they so-called have. And, well, Matisse Thybulle played 3 minutes, does nothing in the game. He can defend, but he does nothing offensively. Georges Niang has some type of impact, but, I mean, not good enough. My boy, D'Anthony Melton, should play more. Even though he's missing, he still does a lot of things, and I feel like it's underestimated. PJ Tucker, 3 points, 28 minutes. I know he brings toughness, but I don't know, man. It feels kind of like wasted 11 million to me. I know he's valuable for the playoffs, but I mean, you need to get to the playoffs and you need to be, overall better. And the 11 million could have been split into two better players, maybe. Who knows? Not for the playoffs, maybe, but at least regularly. But Tyrese Maxey had his hands on the ball a little more, but James Harden struggled with it. 12, 9, and 12 is good, but he shot horrible from the field. And Joel Embiid had 40 points, but I mean, Jakob Poeltl went at him a little bit too. His defense was not as good as it always feels like it is. And the depth, Daniel House, Montrezl is just it was overrated from the beginning to me. I love D'Anthony Melton. I feel like he's gonna be fine. He can have bad games, but otherwise, this depth is kinda just mid, if you wanna use Twitter terms. And I mean, they'll make some trades. They'll be fine, but I feel like it exposes Doc and the depth they're supposed to have early on in the season and earlier than I expected even. So that's interesting to see. That's about it for this game, I guess. We can move on to the next. In the next one, we got the Pacers defeating the Pistons, both teams going 1-2, which, I mean, for the tank battle will be legendary, as you all know. And let's talk about it. The Pistons struggled again. Jaden Ivey, at least, he's fine. He's gonna be good. Kate's gonna be good. We all talk about, but let's talk about the Indiana Pacers. We didn't talk about them that much, and they're my favorite team to get. To get Victor Wembanyama. I would love them to get Victor Wembanyama. I would absolutely love it. I really like Tyrese Halliburton, who's, made some clutch shots. He's a double-double machine, 24 points, 10 assists, 5 steals, 4 rebounds. He's incredible. Buddy Hield hopefully gets traded. We'll see. Jalen Smith played really good, which is nice for them, 19 and 15. He would be a good power forward right next to Wembanyama, who would replace Isaiah Jackson. I mean, he would be off the bench, obviously, but you know what I'm saying. And Chris Duarte struggled to start the season. He was more aggressive, but his shot's not falling. Hopefully, he'll turn it around. But the main story for the Pacers is Benedict Mathurin, who looks as good as he's himself advertised when he said, he's the best player in the NBA, even better than LeBron until LeBron shows him otherwise. 27, 7, and 2, he was the best player on the court. He looks smooth. The Pacers look like they've hit on a draft pick really well. And Goga Bitadze looked also really decent, 14 and 15. It's good to see these young guys get shots, get run, and just play well. As for the Celtics and Magic, it was a up and down game. Celtics playing back to back. In Florida, Orlando playing back to back. I feel like, right? They played yesterday against the Hawks, I think. And Jason Tatum continues his strong start, 40 and 8, and he's gonna be up there with the MVP. We all know that. Jalen Brown struggled obviously, but they have such a well-rounded team. They got a lot of players that can go in there and just play good enough and hold it down until Grant Williams gets back, and they didn't turn the ball over at all, which is incredible for them. And the Orlando Magic, Terence Ross was sensational. He will see if he gets traded after it's been like 3 straight years of trade speculation for Terence Ross. I feel like we'll see. We know he's gonna be in trade speculations once again this year, but we'll see if he actually gets traded this time. Paolo struggled again from the field, but I mean, he's a rookie. He's gonna get his. That's for sure. He knows how to staff the sheet and he knows how to get his. We'll see how consistent he gets throughout the season or how inconsistent he is. And that's good to see. We saw some Bol who provided some sparks with 4 blocks and was pretty good out there since Mobamba struggled a little bit. And yeah, I mean, not much to add for Orlando. They're 0-3. They're starting the tank battle of as great as they could have. One of the most intriguing matchups of the day, obviously, was Raptors Heat, 1-2, 1-2 now, both of those teams. And the Miami Heat get on board with their first win of the season. The most unfortunate thing is that Scotty Barnes got injured. He played just 30 minutes. His left ankle got rolled up there. I'm not sure who rolled up his ankle or how it happened, if somebody stepped on it, if it just rolled up. He was in big pain. We'll see how much time he misses. Nick Nurse said he'll miss some time for sure. I mean, which makes sense since his ankle, it looked not good. We'll see. Hopefully, he'll be healthy. My best wishes go out to him. And these offenses, both of these offenses, Toronto and Miami, are ugly. They're just ugly. I mean, it's a lot of ugly ISOs, kickouts to threes. It's not that fun to watch. Even though Raptors are fun to watch on defense because they have so many lengthy players and they play hard on defense. But offenses are also rough. So you gotta watch the defenses in here and just be like, the offense is what it is. And Miami gets on board. They get a well-rounded effort. They get at least some shooting. They go to the line a lot, and they shoot 50% from the field. The turnover battle, that's what did them almost in. They had 15 turnovers to 6, and they were up by like 20 at the half. They let Toronto come back in, but Kyle Lowry closed the door up on him, and he played good, which is we'll see if he's not washed overall in the end. Max Strus, 2 out of 3 games were great. One was bad. We'll see how consistently he's good and bad. You'll see if it's one good game, one bad game, one good game, one bad game. Last year he was pretty consistent overall, but we'll see. The game I was excited most about, Cavs against the Bulls, because I'm really high on the Cavs. And the Bulls started off really well. And in the end, it was a huge blowout because in the fourth quarter, how was it? It was 35-17. The Cavs were in control pretty much the whole game. The Bulls had some fake comebacks. The turnovers for the Cavs were a lot. With Donovan Mitchell, with Evan Mobley having 3 turnovers, bad passing off of being in the post. Donovan Mitchell had 4 turnovers, but he had 8 assists. He's been playing like a superstar these first 2 games. He's ready to step up for the Cavs and make them a real contender, which I was very high on him. And it's great to see. It's interesting to see that Evan Mobley had 3 rebounds, Jared Allen had 6 rebounds. Evan Mobley had 3 rebounds, Jared Allen had 6 rebounds. This is interesting to see. Kevin Love, 15-12 off the bench. He hit threes when they needed him, 5 of 6 from the 3. He was sensational. And Cherry Osman was also sensational, plus 41 on the game. I mean, plus minus is a fake stat overall, but it is crazy to see. As for the Bulls, DeMar DeRozan just wasn't aggressive enough. Felt like I didn't see him the whole game, 13 points. Which was disappointing to see. Zach LaVine made his debut. He was solid out there, even though the defense looks very suspect for the Bulls, which we knew. Last year it was suspect with Lonzo out and Caruso out. Caruso is playing this time, but it didn't help today. And I mean, most of the fans like Andre Drummond out there at least. That's good to see for them. But Patrick Williams, 15 minutes, 2 for 7. I don't know, man. I don't know about him. he was the fourth overall pick, right? And it's, I mean, he had an unfortunate injury, but yeah, it's rough. We'll see if he can turn it around. I believe he can, but uh, it's rough, a rough start out there for him. Another 40 piece today. The Bucks and the Rockets. Giannis went. Yeah. Giannis went absolute bonkers with 44 on 81% shooting, 17 of 21, 12 boards, just crazy numbers. And he was just bullying the young Rockets. That's all. He was the biggest person out there. Strongest person out there. He was us, getting his way, bullying them. It was nasty. It was nasty work. Jrue Holiday had a great game, 19 and 10, good double double, good from him. And the Rockets just struggled. But it's good for them. The tank battle is gonna be rough. And Jalen Green, another game where he was inconsistent from the field overall, but 57% from the field, 22 points. He's getting there as a scorer. He's gonna be up there with 20, 22 points per game this year. We'll see if he can, be consistent in field goal percentage wise and true shooting percentage wise. But yeah, Jabari Smith at least better from the three, but he's still struggling from the field. He was getting bullied by Giannis, obviously, but who isn't getting bullied by Giannis at the same time? So you can't really hold it against him. On to the next one. The Mavs spanked the Grizzlies. Luka 5-1 against Ja head to head, and it was just ugly defense by the Grizzlies, which I talked about in previous box score watching videos. They're bad on defense so far, and it's crazy to see when their whole identity before was grit and grind, great defense, everything, but now it's rough out there. I mean, they're missing Dylan Brooks and Jaren Jackson Jr. obviously, which are two of the key pieces for the defense, but the fall off is horrible. And I mean, Ja was, not great, but still got his 20 points. Desmond Bain I mean, not much to talk about except they were getting swarmed on defense by Dallas, and their defense didn't hold up at all. I mean, but Dallas might be one of the best offenses, ever, since Luka got so many great pieces around him, and they'll be one of the best offenses in the league, if not the top one offense in the league. With Luka, scoring 32, 7 and 10, 4 of 9 from 3-point land. Christian Wood off the bench with 25, 14 free throws, 12 made. I mean, they got a lot of cool pieces out there. We'll see how consistent they are, and if it's enough for the playoffs. Like if they can actually make a push for the finals. With Luka, I mean, it's probably possible, but they're fun to watch on offense for sure, and their defense is the same defensive identity that Jason Kidd instilled on them is also there right now, so that's very positive. The Denver Nuggets moved to 2-1, defeating the Thunder, who are also in the tank race, and Denver's defense is also not good. Let's just put it out there like that. The Denver defense is also not good, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, not many people can actually stay in front of him. He's such a crafty player, and he has a good first step. So he was getting mid-ranges left and right in the fourth quarter, 28, 3 and 7. Josh Giddey, 19, 8 and 12, 19, 12 and 6. He was pretty solid out there. I mean, they're perfect for them. Their young players are showing out pretty much, and they're losing games, just what they want. And Denver's offense is gonna be also really good. They shot 52% from the field, which is from the three. They shot 52% from the three, which is crazy. But their defense is gonna be rough to watch. And I'm not sure. They have pretty much three not great defenders with Jamal Murray, Jokic, and Porter out there at most of the times. And they're not good defenders. Michael Porter Jr., I don't think it's with his effort, but he just doesn't seem that sharp there. Jamal Murray, I'm not sure if it's effort. I mean, obviously he's coming back from an injury, so it's hard to tell how good his defense can be at the end of the season. And Nikola Jokic, he's trying, he's been better, but in the end, in the playoffs, everyone's gonna put him in pick and rolls, and they're gonna feed off of him. So it's gonna be interesting to see if they figure out how to play better defense. And KCP is going crazy the last two games here. And the last game of the day, Clippers Kings, fake comeback by the Sacramento Kings. Another 40 piece, this time by Paul George. Who was sensational. 55% from the field, 40 points, 6 and 6. and he carried the Clippers. Norman Powell with clutch free throws to seal the deal, and as for the Kings, they started off 0-2, which I mean they needed to be 1-1 if they want to make the play. They didn't need it, but it would have been much more encouraging. And they didn't get blown out. They played very well. And the biggest positive is Keegan Murray, who just looks like a made product. 19, 5 and 2, 2 blocks. He's so out there. The Aaron Fox strong start to the season continues with 36, 5 and 4. He was 65% from the field, which is great. Kevin Herter also played great. They got some nice pieces. They got some nice talent, but at the same time, David Mitchell out there, 16 minutes last season draft pick. I mean, their drafting is so awkward, and they should tank honestly, but they're gonna try to make the play to end the playoffs drought, obviously. And yeah, that's it for today, I guess. It was a fast one this time. A lot of interesting games, a lot of blowouts, a lot of some close games. Today we got the Lakers against Portland, which is very good for me. Which is it's like half past 9 p.m. for me, so I can actually watch. Even though my Niners are playing the Chiefs, so it's gonna be interesting to see how I juggle that. And my Warriors play in the evening also, so I'm gonna watch that in the morning. Clippers against the Suns, who's Kawhi is gonna play since he didn't play in the game against the Kings, back to back. Cleveland against Washington should be fun also. 2-0 battle between Utah and New Orleans. It's gonna be fun one. So that's it for today's boxer watching, and I'll catch you all tomorrow.